welcome back to our program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Tulip and Golf. Now, like I said, there has been a little bit more situation reported down south. Unfortunately, once again, starting yesterday morning, there has been a report of a bomb blast in the Narathiwat province, Resort district. We have heard a lot about Resort district. Obviously, this is one of the violence-prone province in this particular case, in the district itself, in Narathiwat. They say that this particular bomb is a homemade bomb. 20 kilograms gas cylinders was actually turned into a bomb. And they say that starting Sunday morning, what happened was that the group of soldiers, patrol soldiers, were actually on their way in the GMC truck, and they say that in this particular case, the truck picked up 18 of the soldiers from the Narathiwat Task Force 30, and they were passing through the area, which is the patrol area itself, and they say that it was set off at about 9:20 a.m. and they say that this particular bomb was actually planted not far from the concrete wall of a house, which is where the area where the patrol police or patrol soldiers have to pass. They say that as the bomb detonated, they say that 3 of the patrol officers inside the GMC truck were critically wounded, along with the 2 villagers around the area as well due to this particular explosion. And they say that at the time, they were all the pickup trucks as well as the GMC truck in the area were actually destroyed as well. As you can see, the destruction was quite a bit due to bomb blast. Luckily, no one was killed, but still, all of them were critically injured. So 3 soldiers altogether and 2 villagers that happened to be in the area. And they believe that the insurgents probably listened to the radio communication, because as before they left the base, they kind of having a little bit of communication over the radio, and as the car passed through the area, they were able to detonate the bomb right at the time. But luckily, no one was actually killed from this particular incident.
Okay, that's a little piece of something positive.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's positive from this news, actually.
Okay, the next news, we will move up to Chiang Mai again. This time is also about the drug trafficking ring. There was a clash between the officer and also the drug trafficking gang along the border in Mae Ai district of Chiang Mai province. About 6 p.m. on Saturday, the officer saw they increasing the patrol along the border, and about 6 p.m. on Saturday, the Thai official saw 8 people on foot walking through the forest in the dark from Myanmar side of the border. So they asked these people to stop for search, but instead, this is what the police said, instead of cooperate with the police, they actually start the shooting. And the shooting lasts about 5 minutes, and then all these 8 people retract back into the forest, but because it was so dark, Thai officials wait until morning to move into the forest to inspect the area. So about 5 a.m. next day, they went into the area that the clash happened the night before, and they found 4 bodies that each body has a backpack with them, and inside the backpack there were 100,000 methamphetamine pills with the brand called with the stamp WY on the meth pills.
So that's not from that Colonel Yise.
They didn't refer
That's
to
diff-
Colonel
that's-
Yise.
yeah, that's different
but,
brand.
Yeah, but they said this is they believe to be part of the big gang that actually will transfer into a big city in Thailand, but obviously came from the neighbor. So 4 backpacks, 100,000 methamphetamine in each backpack, orange color. Total is 400,000. The police said that the market price of this particular brand of methamphetamine pills is like 50 baht along the border. But once it get into the city, it will be around 300 baht per pill. And along with all those pills in backpack, they also confiscate one hand bomb that it's like a handmade hand bomb that they said it looked like made for, they call it Wa soldiers.
So the tribal.
That's why the official or the Thai official able to narrow down the suspects who they came from. So for death from the incident in Mae Ai district, Chiang Mai province, and the successful in the able to obstruct these drugs to get into the city. They said once it get into the city, it can worth about 120 million baht.
Wow. All right. Once again,
Okay.
big drug bust. And we often hear up in the north of Thailand, as we heard a lot, obviously, of a drug bust. And it's good that I think the police at this point have a little bit more information on the gang and the network itself. But we haven't heard to the, big drug lord
Right.
that has been arrested yet. It's always like this.
Always the traffickers,
Exactly.
the moves.
So hopefully we're gonna get to report about that someday. The big drug lord. All right, moving on to another case, and this case is actually quite disturbing due to the fact that in Bangkok, they say that yesterday at about 3 p.m. Around the Samran Rat district of Bangkok, they say that in front of the Mahan Param temple, there has been around the temple itself, there's a festival and such, or a fair that was ongoing. But they say that in this particular case, what happened was that as the fair, which is ongoing, and the BMA actually sent in a mobile toilet as well to assist everyone in the fair, make it more convenient for people in the area. But as you can see, there has been quite a bit of a clash due to the fact that there was one mental patient. She's a homeless. There you go, her face there, in the area. And they say that at the time around the mobile toilet, they say that people were quite frightened due to the fact that as they were approaching the women's restroom or the mobile toilet, that provided by BMA. They say that they found trail of blood, and all of a sudden a 7-year-old girl just walked out of the bus itself and have a knife stuck to her collar, just a little bit down to her neck. So they say that as people witness this particular sight, they took the girl and took her to the hospital, but due to the fact that the injury was just too large or too much, the girl did not survive this particular incident. Now, the witness in the area, Kun Chusak Yom Prakon, who is actually BMA staff looking after this particular mobile truck, he said that he was actually at the back of the truck, but he said that he has heard someone screaming for help, and he said that as he turned around, he saw a girl left the truck, was walking by the truck, and she has a knife in her. So he finally looked for help, and then running around, they able to grab this particular woman, and they say that the witness around the area have seen her left the truck before the girl did. And according to a report, they say that the woman was actually used to be a mental patient in Ubon Ratchathani province, and somehow she got into the area without anyone knowing, and the girl happened to be inside the toilet at the time, and this caused this particular sad incident to happen. But a lot of people were quite upset. The team, the rescuers, as well as the staff in the area have to make sure that this particular person was unharmed and send her off to the police instead of being in the area and might ended up being beat up by a very angry crowd.
Right.
All right, let's move on to another horrible incident, unfortunately. But
Yes.
it is horrible to report.
But it's
nonetheless.
actually getting almost to an end of the case. This one, we reported before when the Olympic athlete, the shooter, Chakrit, actually was gunned down on October 19. And the police finally able to arrest the 33-year-old Jirasak Klai that was a shooter, a suspect in this case. Is it ironic the Olympic shooter got killed by
Yeah, well,
gunshot?
that's the only thing. I think it was the ongoing case that the person was so desperate, right? Because it ended
Yeah.
up being a mother-in-law, and I guess that's her only way of she could think of.
So this 33-year-old suspect confessed to the police that he actually got the work from Santi Thongseem, 28-year-old. And also this guy, Santi Thongseem, got contact from a woman named Warapan Puri Montri Arikun. That is really long name, 46-year-old. So the police able to arrest Warapan Puri, but the first one that the shooter talked about, Santi Thongseem, is still in hiding. The police still unable to arrest them, but Warapan Puri actually already talked to the police and confessed that she's the one that actually she
Arranged?
believes she's the one that arranged the shooter for the family. She said she have known this family, Chakrit and his wife, for 7 years. And along because she's a customer of the wife,
right.
the
The
public
beauty
call
clinic.
her the public call her Mo Nim. She is the apparently the plastic surgeon, quite a well-known one.
Right.
And she has been the customers of the clinic and known this couple for 7 years. But there was this one incident a couple months back in July where Mo Nim have to be admitted into the hospital because she was beaten up until
She lost a child.
yes, she's carried a third child of Chakrit, and she was beaten up until she miscarried the third child, and she was admitted into the hospital. So Warapan Puri said that she discussed this with Mo Nim's mom. Mo Nim's mom showed intention that she just wants something to happen to be able to eliminate Chakrit out of her daughter's life because she has been trying to ask her daughter to actually divorce and get away from this guy, but apparently her daughter loved this guy so much they were broke up and getting back together. We saw this in the news before. It was a big news on the first page of
Right.
many media when the wife came out and said that she got beaten up and such. So mom actually confessed that the daughter doesn't know about this. She said the daughter know about this when there was a funeral going on for the husband.
Oh.
So she said one Warapan Puri and mom were talking about arranging the shooter while the wife was on the hospital bed. So they're trying to say that the wife has no idea what was going on, but there was an arrest warrant against the wife as well. So I guess today we will hear more how the case direction will head into, because the mother of the wife actually confessed that she's the one that behind all this.
Right. And that's, of course, Monim, Dr. Nithiwadi, the one that we talked about, and that's the wife. And that's one of
And
the
the
things.
price tag is $1.2 million. They
Right.
said that at first it's 600,000 baht payment, and then the tutor, the hired tutor, said that it's not enough. He
Right.
wants more, so he get another 600,000 baht to kill a person.
Well, that's the thing. I think the father of Kun Chakrit actually came out and he was quite upset. And that's
Yeah.
understandable because obviously, someone is killing his son. And this case is.
Yeah, the father of Chakrit said he know that his son beat up the wife, but he doesn't think it's so bad that his son deserve
Which is
to be killed, which is true. But like you said before, in the mother of the wife mind, she probably think either the husband or the wife, one or the other, gonna get killed first.
Yeah, and this is one of the,
Domestic violence.
domestic violence gone really bad. And obviously people that have to see this are the one that suffer the most, even more. Oftentimes even more than the couple.
Yes.
Because the couple somehow, they will get
Able
back
to
together.
manage it.
Yeah, they're able to mend it, but it was the family that is, heartbroken. So hopefully we don't have to hear about this again. And that's one of the things, we don't have that many sorts for Thai people to actually talk about this.
True,
We don't
true.
have psychiatrists. It's not that popular here in Thailand. And this is one of the things that you might need a help of
True.
psychiatrists to talk it out instead of, acting so violently like this. All right.
Okay, we're gonna take a short break.
Yes.
It's not like it's gonna get any easier because
No.
coming back, we're gonna talk about the storm that has been going through some part of Thailand, and we're also gonna talk about the demonstrations
Yeah.
that is
From
going
both
on
sides, mind you.
From both sides. Stay tuned.